Hey all, welcome to our channel Salesforce Tech. Have you been struggling with validating data while entering or updating in Salesforce? Don't worry, I can help you. Here, in this video, we will be discussing the purpose of validation role, how to create validation role via demo, and few examples. What is Salesforce validation role? Salesforce validation role is helping to analyze whether the data entering into the Salesforce, that means inserting or updating into the Salesforce, is correct or not. Some expression or formula will be executing as part of validation rule. The result will be Boolean result. It might be true or it might be false. If the expression or formula's result is true, means the data trying to insert or update is not correct as per the requirement. So as a result, the true will be triggering into error message. For example, if I am providing like amount of opportunity record is less than 100. At that case, if I am entering value as 50, it means less than 100. That condition or expression or that formula is correct only. So, the true will be executing as a result and error message will be triggering out. And assume like I am entering 150. That means expression or formula is resulting to false. That means the validation rules formula provided is amount less than 100 only. 150 is greater than 100. So it will be resulting as a false, and as a result record will get served to the system. To create a validation rule, we can do like we can go to under the object where this validation rule is how to be created. For example, if I have to create a validation rule under the opportunity, then I have to go to the opportunity. Under opportunity, we can see validation rule, this one. If we have to create a validation rule under the account, then go to account, then we can see validation rule under account like this. This is for the standard object. Assume like we have to create a validation rule for a custom object. Then we have to check for the exact custom object where the validation rule has to be created. So I will be providing a sample on a custom object as well as a standard object like opportunity. First I will create a validation rule for the standard object. One example is opportunity. What I did, I was searching for the opportunity here, then selected the validation rule under that object name. So we can create our first validation rule on a standard object opportunity. For that, click on here, new button. Here we have to provide a validation rules name. I am providing like amount less than 100 validation. What I have to do is like whenever the amount entering for the opportunity is there is a field like amount. If the amount value is less than 100, I have to execute this validation and it should trigger error. That means I should be able to enter value if the value is amount value is greater than or equal to 100. So this is the next most prior component under the validation active. Uh, assume like a Assume like after few days we don't need to execute this validation formula like a validation rule. At that case we can simply uncheck this one. So even this validation rule is not deleted, still record can be inserted without checking the amount value. For now I have to check this one because I have to consider this validation rule while I update or insert some data for opportunity object. Description, we can provide anything, like we can understand the purpose of this validation rule later. I'm just here, this error condition formula area. This is the most important area under the validation rule. Here we will be entering the condition to execute this particular validation rule. I am providing, clicking on the insert field, opportunity. Under opportunity, I can select which field I have to work on for this validation rule. Here I need the amount field. So inserting that amount field. And when this validation rule should execute, it should execute whenever the amount is less than 100. We can check whether the syntax we have entered is correct or not. Click on check button. No errors. That means it's correct only. Next area, what should be the message whenever the error happens? We can provide like amount should not be less than 100. I am mentioning the object name itself. I will tell you why. I have entered this opportunity amount specifically because the thing is like this validation can happen while the detail page. At that case, it's not needed to understand why, because we are already in the opportunity field. So we can understand like opportunities amount field is triggering error. But there is a case, this validation may happen from some Apex classes, it may happen from some API, or it might be from outside the system where which is integrated to Salesforce. So at that case, the specifically mentioning opportunity amount will be helpful. And here we will be deciding where this error message should happen. Here there is only one field is involving as part of this validation rule. So we can provide that field information, that is amount field. Okay. If it is involving multiple fields, we cannot mention a particular field there. At that case, we can provide top of page. If I am providing field, the error message, this message will be appear near this field. Otherwise, if I am choosing this one, it will be triggering. Whenever this validation rule executes, if the error message is triggering, it will be available at top of the detail pages. Here I am providing amount. Okay. So our first validation rule is ready. Save. Let us see whether it is working or not. I am creating a new opportunity record test and providing the close stage. These are the mandatory fields, that's why I entered those fields. And I am providing a value something like 80. And trying to save this record. Save. See, the error message is visible here. Opportunity amount should not be less than 100. So then I am trying to save a value which is greater than 100. Assume 150. Okay. Save. Yeah, record got saved. That is the reason why it is asking to add product. So let us create a validation rule on a custom object student. For that we have to do select the object, custom object student, then try to create a validation rule under this section. Click new. Let us make the fees of this object should be 0 if we are selecting the class equal to 1. So what we will be doing, fee should be 0 if class is 1. Okay, providing the same message as a error message. Here, insert. First we have to select whether the class is 1. Insert. So this is a pick list value, so we have to check, consider is pick. Is pick. This one, sorry, is pick. If this pick list value is 1, we can consider and. Logical condition, logical, math, text advanced, all these options are available. Whenever select this one, we can see time and date related functions here easily. If we are selecting logical, then easily we can see the logical related functions here, related math like this, related to text dependent like this, and advanced formula like we can see these things. And if we don't need to filter anything, we can see the whole. So first I am considering the logical condition and first condition is value of, that is a pick list, if this pick list value containing value 1, and another condition I am providing like fee. There is a fee like fee insert not equal to 0. Okay, checking the syntax, it's fine, no issues. And I want to show this message at the top of the page. Saving. Let us see whether this validation working or not. For that, click on the student, create a new record, continue, providing student name something like a Rohit, selecting guardian name, even this is not a mandatory field, class is 1 only, and providing teacher name, and fees I am providing something like 4500. Save. See, fee should be 0 if class is 1. It is not get inserted. Similarly, I am trying to correct this one to 0, then this record will get insert. That's all. So I have to describe a few more things related to validation rules. These are the functions related to validation rules, and we can provide like an begins, starting letter will be checking. We can check whether something containing in a particular string or something like that. We can see every function's description like this. So it is very easy to identify which function you can use. That's it. As a result, what we can mention related to validation role, mainly 4 things, like multiple validation role can be used under one object. Whenever all the validation roles triggering as false as a result, then record will get served. If any of them is true, then the record will not get updated or served because there is one error. Even one fails will check on all validation rule one by one. Validation rule will get executed irrespective of media. Like there is a validation rule like amount less than 100. At that case, if I am entering any value less than 100, using my detail page or using my Apex class or using my API or using something which is integrated to Salesforce, all those systems will get triggered error. Like this validation rule acting as a layer which will be validating the data. This will allow to insert or update data in Salesforce only if this layer is cleared without any errors. And the final thing is like, if there is a validation rule and if we need to insert data without validating it, then we don't need to delete that validation rule. Instead, we can simply deactivate it. All these are about validation rule. Thank you. Thank you all.